we are back with another 30-minute runner-specific Pilates workout. As always, grab your mat, you just need yourself, and anything that doesn't feel right or you've got a slight injury and you need to adapt, please just do everything at your own time and what suits you. Hit pause when you need to for a bit of extra breaks or adapt as necessary. And we are going to jump straight in. So feet hip width apart, and we want to take a nice Pilates posture. So nice soft knees, scoop the stomach muscles to the lower spine, shoulders down, and we're going to work on that inhale and exhale. So think about expanding the rib cage as we breathe in through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. And we're just going to start with some big shoulder rolls. I just like to work through the body, nice and simple, just to get all the tightness out of the way before we begin. So really bring those shoulders right up to the ears. Inhale and exhale, just change direction, making sure we keep the stomach muscles nice and scooped to the back of the spine. And then take it back into our arm circles the opposite way. Be aware of any tightness. One side might feel more sticky than the other. And then changing direction. Nice and big. And then bring the arms up to the side. So on the exhale, we're going to bring the opposite arm over to the opposite foot. So we're going to lift up and over. Exhale, get a nice stretch through the hamstring. Back up through the center. Exhale, the other way. Back up. All those clicks coming through if you can hear them. And back up through the center. Keeping the hip bones facing towards the front. I want you to exhale and rotate the top of the spine out to the side. Exhale on the twist. Really keep those hip bones facing the front. Breathing in through the center and exhale. Over to the other side. Just once more each side. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Still keeping that tailbone tucked under. Engaging our core. And then back through to the centre. Drop those hands down. We're just going to work through our feet, which we don't do very often, but the arch of our feet can get quite tight through running. So I literally just want you to pedal through the feet. Really stretch through, put the weight over the toes on this side, and then switch. Good, just a couple more here. And bring the heels down. Last one of our warm-up, we're going to go into our bodyweight squats. So the arms are going to go above our head, sit our bum back through our heels, and then squeeze at the top. Good, keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Bringing the arms above our head just to really wake up the thoracic spine, which might feel tight, especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning. Squeeze. Good, again, just keep the stomach muscles engaged. Good. And last one. And down. Good work. We're actually going to come straight down onto our knees for this one, and we're going to get into our quad muscles. So I want you to scoop the stomach muscles to the back of the spine, and we're going to keep from our chin to our knees in one straight line, and we're just going to work through our core, our stomach muscles, our hamstrings, our glutes, get everything fired up. The arms are going forward, and we're just going to float our body back. Again, we don't want to overarch the chest or sit the bum further back. We're in a nice straight line and then squeeze back up. Just go as far as you can control. Like I said, you should feel it down here, the glutes, the hamstrings, everything working here. Good, take it back. And squeeze. Couple more here. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. We've got two more. Remembering to breathe. Last one, we're going to hold it. Deep breaths. Core nice and tight. Scoop the stomach muscles. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and come back up. Good. Now we are actually going to sit our bum back here and our arms are going to float forward. So just take the knees a little bit further apart. You can either bring the toes together or keep them hip width apart. We're going to sit the bum back and then squeeze at the top. Good. So we've got a bit of a hip thrust and a squat going on. Good. Arms forward and squeeze. Bum back and up. Good. Last 5 here. Good. We've got 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. And coming up. Good. We are still staying on our knees for this, but we're going to swivel around and we're going to take that right leg out to the side. And our hands are coming up. So it kind of looks a little bit like we're doing an aeroplane here, but we're working into these oblique muscles. So keeping the shoulders down and keeping the arms right out to the side. I just want you to take that arm down towards the mat and then squeeze to come up. So you should really feel it down the side, lifting up out those hips. Good. So we come over, touch the hand, and then squeeze to come back up. Good work. Still keep those lower abdominals, scoot towards the spine. Lifting up. Again, try not to sit too much into those hips. We're going to go for our last one, but we're going to plant that hand down, stretch that arm right over. So from here, we're going to lift the foot and the arm to meet each other. This is quite challenging. Don't worry if the leg can't go too high, that is absolutely fine, but we just work with what we can. So we're going to lift the arm and leg to meet, and then stretch back over. Good, and lift. Good, really squeeze those abdominals. Good, we've got 3 more here. Like I said, these are nice and challenging. Last 2. And last one, we're just going to hold it for a few seconds. Breathe. Last 3, 2, 1. And stretch back over. And then turning round. So we've got our knee directly underneath our hip. And we've got that right leg stretched out behind us. And our hands are underneath our shoulders. We're just going to lift that leg straight up, and from here I'm going to draw a really tiny circle with the foot, keeping those hip bones facing the mat. Doesn't matter how high or low the leg is, as long as you can feel that glute working. Good, keep breathing. And then you're going to change direction. Good. Last 3, 2, 1, and return that leg back in. Take the knees about as wide as the mat, and then just send the bum back to the heels and walk those hands forward, and then walk the hands over to the opposite side, so you can just stretch out that side of the body that's been working. Exhale. Back through the centre, and then over to the other side. And then back through the centre. Walk the hands back in, and we're going to go over on to the other side. So up onto our knee, that left leg out to the side, arms up, shoulders down, working these obliques, taking it over to one side like an aeroplane, and then squeeze back up. Try not to let the arm float forward. We need to keep it in one straight line here. So take it over and squeeze up. Good. And lift. Good work. Keep scooping the stomach muscles. We've got 4 more here. Last 3. Nice and slow and controlled. Last 2. And then on this next one, we're going to take that arm down, adjust the weight into that hand, and stretch that arm over. We're going to drive the leg to the hand. So we lift up and down. You might notice one side is a lot easier than the other. Like I say, that is totally normal to be stronger on one side or tighter on one side. You just generally find it a bit trickier, but that is why Pilates is good, so we can work on these imbalances. Good work. We've got one more. We're going to hold it up. Breathe. Last 3, 2, 1, and stretch back down. Twisting round onto our front. So again, just make sure that hip bone is facing the mat, the knee is underneath the hips, and we are lifting and then just drawing a really tiny circle with that foot, keeping the stomach muscles scooped. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. And then change direction. Good. Last 3, 2, and return that leg back in. Take the knees out to the side, send the bum back to the heels, and just walk those hands forward and over to the other side. Just stretch it out. Back through the centre and over to the other side. And then just walk those hands in. And we're going to swivel round on to our bum. Now you've got 2 options here. Hands can be out to the side or facing towards the front. That might feel a little bit tight across the chest or the wrists. So I prefer out to the side. Knees are up to the ceiling, and from here we're basically going to lift up. So we're driving the hips up towards the ceiling, squeeze the glutes, and back down. Now if you want to make it slightly more challenging, you can do the exact same thing with the legs straight out in front of you. So I'm going to opt for the bent knees for this one. But again, as always, adjust to what is best for you. So we're going to drive up, squeeze the glutes, get a nice stretch through the chest and shoulders, and back down. Making sure the stomach muscles are engaged. Good. We've got 2 more here. Try to take that neck in line with the body, and it can get quite tense. And then control back down, stretch out the legs. If you need to just stretch out the arms in front, that is absolutely fine. And then we're actually coming onto our forearms, but behind us. So really keep the elbows tucked in, so we're opening up that chest here, and bring the knees in, and then up to this tabletop position. We're going to put one toe down and back up, and then the other. We're going to work on keeping this neck as long as we can. Again, it's quite hard in this position. We need to remember to lift up out of our shoulders, keeping the core nice and tight, nice and engaged. One more each leg. And then pop both feet down for a little rest. So we're going to stay here and do essentially the same thing, but this time we're going to turn the knees out to the side. So bring the first knee up and then the second with a nice turn out, so our knees are dropped down to the side, and then we put one toe down and back up, and then the other. Good. Core nice and tight. Lifting up out the shoulders. Last few. Last one each leg. and then bring the knees back in, pop the feet back down. Last one in this position, make sure you've got those elbows underneath you. We're going to take the legs back up, we're going to draw the heels together and stretch the legs. So still the heels together, knees out to the side, and then extend and stretch. This is quite challenging. We've just got a few here. Good. We've got 2 more. Last one. And then bring those legs back in, straighten up. Right, into shimmy down the mat, and then just hug both the knees to the chest and just round off the spine. Massage it while rocking from side to side. And then from here, we're going to take those legs up into that tabletop position, 90-degree angle, arms by the side, lifting the head, neck and shoulders, and we are pulsing. So we're breathing in and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. 10 seconds to go. We can stretch the legs if you want to make it more challenging. Last 3 seconds. And relax. Hug the knees to the chest and just gently rock from side to side. So I'm just going to shimmy down ever so slightly. Taking those legs back up into our tabletop position. Hands are above the head. We're going to get into some dead bugs. So we're extending opposite arms and legs away from the body. So we have to think about this from a coordination perspective. Keeping the head on the mat and then back in. Exhale as we extend and in. If this is too much, you can drop the arms and just use the legs. Good, really squeeze the lower abdominals into the spine, into the mat. Good. We've got 2 more each side. Really reach. Last 2. And hug those knees into the chest and just gently rock from side to side and then pop the feet down on the mat. Knees are up to the ceiling and hands are by the side. We're going to go into some glute bridges. So tilting that pelvis under, tucking the tailbone, we lift 1 vertebra at a time. Hips nice and high, squeeze at the top. Nice relaxed feet, weight through the shoulders, and then slowly roll back down 1 vertebra at a time and back up. Exhale as we come up. Squeeze at the top and slowly rolling back down and up. Exhale as we come up. Inhale. Down. Good. We're going to hold it at the top of this next one. Squeezing nice and high, and then we're just going to come down for half pulses and just up the tempo slightly. So a bit quicker. Really squeeze with each lift here. Again, keep the weight through the shoulders. Keep that core engaged. We've got 5 more here. 3, 2, hold at the top, and then slowly rolling back down the spine. Okay, we're going to reset and go back up. Now we've got 2 options. Once we get to the top, we'll do it at the same time as I explain. You can either hold it here, or if you feel comfortable, we're going to take the right leg off and back down, trying to not let those hips move too much, and then the left. So we're essentially marching, but keeping it nice and controlled. Good. Two more each leg. Try not to let this spine move around too much. It's all about control. You can hold your hips if that makes it easier. Last one. And then slowly roll back down the spine. One vertebra at a time. Hug the knees to the chest and just gently rock from side to side. Massage the lower spine. And then pop the feet back down, knees up to the ceiling. Then we're going to take the hands behind the head and we're just going to take a sit up. Exhale as we come up, keep those elbows right out to the side. And inhale, back down. Good, we exhale to come up. And inhale. Keep the core nice and tight. We've got 3 more here. Keep squeezing the spine into the mat. And last one. And slowly coming back down. Just lengthen the arms and legs. Take a really nice big stretch. And then we're going to roll on to our front. So we want the hands just underneath the face in like a diamond position, and we're keeping those feet on the floor, the glutes engaged and the stomach muscles engaged, and the neck nice and long. We're just going to press up off the floor until we feel the lower back muscles engaged, and then control back down, keeping that neck nice and long. And back up. Good. As high as feels comfortable. We don't want to strain those lower back muscles. Good. We've got 3 more here. Last 2. Last one, we're just going to hold it up here. And control it back down. Take the arms above the head, feet about hip width apart, and from here we're going to swim. So we're just going to lift up and then we're going to paddle. Keep that neck nice and long. Deep breaths, core nice and tight. Keep squeezing the glutes. 8 seconds left here. Neck nice and long. Last 3, 2, 1. And relax back down. Bring the arms near the chest. We're just going to come up into a nice back bend, just as much as feels comfortable. And then send the bum back to the heels. Walk those hands forward. And take a nice stretch there. And then coming on to all fours. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're just going to tuck the toes under and just lift the knees off the mat, pressing the floor away. Nice tight core. Hold it, neck nice and long, core engaged. Last 5 seconds. Last 3, 2, and relax. The knees back down and just soften the feet. We're going to go straight into some single leg work here. So I want you to take that right leg up behind you again. And from here we're just going to pulse. So we're back into our glutes. Core nice and tight again. Make sure that hip bone is facing the mat. Breathe. Squeeze. Last 3, 2, 1, and control it back in. We're going to extend the exact same leg out again, but this time the arm is going with it. So we extend, and then we're going to draw the elbow to the knee. So round the spine, and then extend. Good, lengthen, squeeze, and then come to a nice neutral spine. We've got 2 more here. Last one. And control that knee back in. Drop the head and arch the spine. And then bringing that chest up. Once more. And then come back to that nice neutral spine, and we go again with the left leg. So we extend that left leg behind us, hip down, and from here we pulse. Core really nice and tight. Keep squeezing, neck in line with the spine. Last 3, 2, 1, and back in. We're going to go straight out with the opposite arm and leg. So the same leg, opposite arm. Extend, drive the elbow and the knee towards each other, and extend. Good. And in. Last few here. We've got 3 more. Last 2. Last one. And draw the arm and the knee back in. Tip those knees right out to the mat, and then send the bum back to the heels. Walk those hands forward. Take a big inhale. And exhale. Coming up onto our hands and knees, we're going to press straight back into a downward dog. So just tuck those toes under, and then send the bum back to the heels. And we can just do a few foot pedals here. Try not to slip on my mat. Good. And then slowly start to walk the hands towards the feet, dropping the head. And we're going to roll up the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, lifting right up towards the ceiling, and then leading with the head first. We're rolling down the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhale at the bottom. I want you to take that right arm up towards the ceiling, exhale, and then inhale, drop back down to the centre. Exhale, over to the other side, and drop back down. We're going to come to a halfway lift with a nice flat back. So we're going to come up, get a nice stretch through the back of the hamstrings, and then drop back down. Exhale on the stretch, and drop. We've just got 1 more here. Drop that head right back down, and then slowly roll up the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, till we've got ourselves to standing. Give yourself a shake, and well done. Thank you so much for joining me for that workout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on another video soon.